Hey everybody, how about we start making those steps? What we're going to do is we're going to measure height, and we're going to measure on each side of the step. So this side of the step, we're going to go is almost 33 and a half. On this other side, get my hand out of the way, it's about 34 inches. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the shorter side on this, because below me, if you see, there's already a sidewalk below me. So I don't have to put a footing in or anything where I can make it the height I need. So I'm going to have to adjust this. So this particular way, I'm going to use the shorter side only because I can shim the other side to where I need it. If this was dirt, I would do the higher side and kind of dig into the ground a little bit as needed to do that. But for this, since there's concrete already there, we're going to just use the shorter side. And I already divided the measurements up. We're going to have, basically it's 5 steps. Now I should have showed you, is I didn't measure to the top of the decking. I measured to the bottom of the decking because that's my rough framing. So when you build stairs, you're dealing with the framing, the rough framing part of it, not the finished framing of it. So that way, when I divided the number into 5 steps, it came to 6.6, which is basically 5 5/8, which, I mean, it's a 16th one way or the other, and it's barely a 16th. It's probably probably a 32nd more than anything. So what you'd use right here, framing square, and these little nub, what they do is they attach to the framing square. And since my measurement is basically 6 5/8, I always have a step that's 10 inches. So that way anything I put on there, like 2 deck boards, is 11. And so that gives me that little bit of an overhang. So on here, let me turn this down so you can see. On here, I'm going to put on the inside here, we'll put 1 on 10. As you see, the line is 10, that you use that one edge, it squares right to it. And the other one will do 6 5/8. Can't hold it there with one hand. And then we'll tighten those tight. So we got 6 5/8 on one side, 10 inches on the other side. So let's move down to the end down here. And so all we're going to be doing is pushing this along to where we want the steps. So I put a line in here. Actually, I did it this way. No, I put a line in here where I think roughly, oh, silly me, I put them on the wrong side. Flip those to the other. Oh, silly me. See, we all make mistakes. All right, there we go. Now, 6 5/8, 10 inches. We draw a line like this, and then we take that, see this next line? We line it right up with the 10-inch one, and then we do it again. And then we just keep going all the way down, line that 10, get that line in there. So right now, since I have the measurement to the top of the framing, some people will use that as you walk out those steps too, and then you go down. Where I rather have my decking to where I'm on the deck and then I step down off the deck, not have another little platform and then the steps. So technically we only need 4 steps. And after you cut out, mark all those, let me remark those, make sure you see we got 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. So on this one here, since I gotta flip this around only because I want to make this other line here that runs the length of the step. And so I can mark, actually I want to mark that all the way across. And then that's the bottom of this is the step. So we'll just mark 6 5/8 on both of those. So that gives us our bottom. We'll cut this out. We'll cut this out. We cut this out. This is our bottom where it hits the concrete. A step, a riser, step, riser. And then as we get down here, we got the 4 steps. And so this last mark, we basically just need to run this line across. And that gives us our full step. Step 1, step 2, step 3, and all these little triangles are what we cut out. So cutting those out, then what we get is something that looks like this. We laid it on here, basically line up with everything we have. Yep, right on the money. And so then when we want to make another one, since we made that first one, that's our pattern. That's the one we're going to use to make other ones. So then what we do is we'll slide it down. We'll slide it down farther so we can use the rest of the board here. And you want to line up with the front toes here. Don't worry about this back edge. Line up with the front here so it comes to the point, point, point. And then you just go around and you mark all those. And the best thing is if you have a sharp pencil too, it'll be a little more accurate than a not so. You notice in the back here, there is a little line where these boards are not the same width. So one's just a little bit thicker, but the back side of that is not needed. You want the points in the front that steps, the riser, and everything's going to be on to work that way. So I'm going to cut the rest of these and I'll check back with you in a minute. All right, we're back. And if you notice, I made some notches on the bottom here. And I also did the same thing on the top there. So then I can avoid having to deal with any type of hangers. So let's attach this one. I already got them marked. I already put the screws in. Now it's just a matter of course, the one I want to put on first is not closest. And you just want these basically be flush with the front of the step, so that way everything lines up nice. One more here, and then we'll do the other side. See how this one's sticks a little past. We'll just push that back so it's flush. Thinking deer flies. That's why I wear this thing on my head. Deer flies are crazy. They're buzzing my head. Let's do that on the other side. You see it acts as a platform from the bottom of the steps. But then this one acts up for a platform to the top of the steps, which allows you to not need hangers. And my steps are only 48 inches wide. So these are basically 16-ounce centers. Stay there. And they're going to be a beast to carry over there, I can tell already. So I'm going to carry them over there, but you're not going to see me do it. All right, I got it over here. Wasn't that big of a deal, but I did mark on my underneath there 6 5/8. That's my height down. So I got a line on both sides, and so let's attach it there and see how it goes. I do have a line over here where my 4 foot is. This one here lines up pretty good. And what this does, it keeps having to not have to put any hangers on. This one here I gotta lift up. I'll just put a bunch of screws. I'm gonna hit the seam there, I see. I will get some spack screws tomorrow. Have them right now, but at least you get an idea. And then we'll level this out down here, level across, put a shim or a block just to keep it from bouncing. And we'll put the, I don't have the stuff for the deck. I gotta get more decking. I do have some, but a couple pieces. But that's the steps for the day. The next video will be on about the finished product. You see it. You know, if you notice the skirt board out here or the around, it's just deck boards all bumped together. They will shrink a little bit, but one thing about the cedar tone material, it's not as soaking wet as green treated is. So the drying is the same process or the same idea, but it just does not shrink as bad as the green treated, because green treated comes even more wet for some reason. So I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll be wrapping this thing up next week, so that video will be kind of the wrap up of what we're doing. Handrails, I'll be showing how to do the handrails I do, and that they're pretty easy to put in. They're easy to make, put in. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe, appreciate it. If you have any comments or ideas, let me know in the comments, and I hope to see you again. Have a great day and a better tomorrow.